and welcome to another video of crochet. In this video I'm going to show you how to crochet a scarf that looks like woven, and though it looks a little bit complicated, it really isn't. We are not going to go beyond the basic crochet stitches. The double crochet is the carrying stitch for this scarf. For the scarf you'll be needing 200 grams of fingering yarn and relevant hooks. I'm going to give all the technicalities, all the details in the description section. The scarf is going to be made in 3 steps. First, we are going to create the net for it. In the second step, we are going to crochet in between the squares. And in the third step, we are going to make long chains, and then we are going to weave those chains through the ones that we've already done vertically. A word of advice before we start. So the making of this scarf requires colossal work, lots of time, lots of effort, lots of energy. So before you embark on making yourself a full-blown scarf, I might suggest that you try something smaller, like a neck scarf or a bandana, to see if the pattern works for you. If it does, fantastic, make the whole scarf. Okay, that would be all. So without further ado, let's do some crochet. For the woven scarf, I'm going to use Alize yarn. The self-striping one is Alize Angora Gold, and this one is 550 meters in 100 grams. And for the base, I'm going to use Alize Angora Gold Simli, which is shiny, and it's got 500 meters in 100 grams. So I'm going to use all of this yarn to set the base for the scarf, and then I'm going to weave it with the self-striping yarn. You also need a long tapestry needle. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook, and you also need scissors. For the scarf that we are going to be making, we are going to work with odd numbers and create a net. So we are going to increase 2 squares per row. So in the first one we've just got 1, then we are going to make 3 squares, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on until we spend all of our base yarn. This is fingering weight yarn, and you might think it is a little bit off to work it with a 4mm hook, and it is a little bit awkward at first until you get the hang of it, but this is the perfect hook size for this project. First, we are going to make a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 6, 4, 5, and 6. And we are going to make 1 double crochet into the first stitch, thus creating our first square. Here it looks more like a triangle, but we are going to be making squares. So as I previously showed you in my schematic, we are going to be working with odd numbers. So the first one has 1 square, then we are going to add 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on until we are done with our skein. Next, we are going to be adding 2 squares at each side for each row. So whenever we start a new row, we always chain 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Turn work. We chained 6. Now we are going to skip the first stitch and make 1 double crochet into the next. Next, chain 2. We are going to skip 2 stitches and make 1 double crochet into the next. Now we've got 2 squares done, and we need another one. For that one we are going to chain 3 and make 1 double crochet here. So again, let me repeat this part because it's very important. Whenever we start a new row, we chain 6, and then when we add the last one, the finishing one, we chain 3 and make 1 double crochet, which also equals 6. Now in the third row, we are going to make 5 of these squares. So chain 6, turn work, skip the first stitch, go into the second and make a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 and make 1 double crochet over the double crochet stitch of the row below, chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet into this stitch here, chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet into the third stitch, and to finish it off we are going to chain 3 and then make 1 double crochet into the same stitch. And now in this row we've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Progress check. The scarf is coming up nicely, but I still have a long way to go. Once the scarf is done, we are going to start filling the squares, the center of the squares with crochet. So place the scarf with the face up, and we are going to start with the first square. Insert yarn into the bottom of the first square. And then we are going to chain 3 and then slip stitch into the upper part of the square. Next, chain 2, and now we are going to transfer this one into the second row, slip stitch there, turn the scarf. We are always doing the face up, so now we are going to be filling these squares here, chain 3, slip stitch into the upper center part of this square, chain 3, slip stitch again, chain 3 and into the last square, next chain 2 and transfer the yarn to the next set of squares, and we're just going to repeat this. So now I'll be crocheting through these squares here, then chain 2 and continue crocheting downwards. The second step of the scarf being done, and now we are going to just weave it vertically. So we are going to start at the upper right corner. I've already crocheted a long chain. This one is about 9 meters long. Previously I've done 2 of these scarves, so it can be a little bit difficult to weave the chain. When it's this long, so we'll see how it goes now. First, thread the needle with the chain, and I'm going to start inserting it into a stitch so that it holds better. And next, this is just for the first one, and now I'm going to get all this big chain until I get to the end. It is time consuming, and this scarf proves to be a true labor of love. And you have yourself a unique masterpiece. I'm going to speed up the video, but first I want to show you how to do it, and then I'll speed it up. I'm nearly done. Okay, so I've left a long tail which I am going to secure later. So now I'm going through this upper part again. And the first square is done. Now I'm going to go through the second, and the first square being done, now I'm going to just go a different path here. So if on this square the thread was below this part, now it's going to be above it, so like this. You might make a shorter chain, but then you'll have to tie it many times until all the scarf is woven. when weaving the scarf, you must always pay attention to where you end it, especially on the part that narrows down, so that you do not go zigzag or miss a square. So you always follow the squares. Here my chain finished, and this is how I joined the next one. So I just insert the yarn into the last stitch or the first stitch of the chain, and then I'm just going to continue chaining a long chain. That depends on how long you want the chain to be. Longish chains can be quite messy when weaving through, but this way you won't have to tie the tails. You see, the tails are left, and before I start weaving, I am going to just weave them through the chain. And what feels like a decade or two, you are going to be finished with your scarf. And as you can see, it's truly remarkable.